Hello, my name is Allison McCombs, and this is my coat of arms speech for the Discourse 200 class summer semester with Professor Milton. And today I chose to identify with an animal, more specifically a cat. I think that I am similar to a cat in the ways that I am very independent and I like my space sometimes, so I'm less social like cats, and I prefer lazy days over more productive days, even though that is not the best way to go. I am curious but also uninterested in things at times, and I think cats are like that too, at least with my two cats. One of them is very curious and one of them is very uninterested in everything, and I'm the same way. Sometimes I like to explore new things, sometimes I just want to stick with my routine and I don't want to add anything new to stress me out. And with saying that, I'm very anxious at times, like my cat, and I wouldn't say I'm the bravest person. I wouldn't be someone to jump out of an airplane, so I'm more cowardly like some cats are, even though there are some cats that are brave, but I'm not as brave as a dog, we'll say that. People identify with a certain gender identity that they feel well represented by. And you can identify with more than one gender, symbol, quote, object, animal. And I believe that is because our personalities are so complex. And there's just so many things that go into us and our personality traits that you can group them into different categories. And you can be like an animal, like a cat, or you can feel like you relate to a quote that it seems very passionate about what you were passionate about, and then you can also feel like you're a woman. So for me, I feel like I'm a woman. I feel like I also am similar to a cat. There's definitely some quotes that I love that I think are very similar to my drive and what I love. So it's not uncommon for people to identify with more than one thing. So with more than one gender, I think that there are some people who feel like they are represented by a multiple of genders, or maybe none at all. And with saying that, I believe that having identity is very important. It makes you feel very safe and like you aren't alone in this world. And in chapters 7 and 8, they talked about how people who don't believe that they are a man or a woman feel very insecure and not always safe. They feel very confused themselves, and other people are confused by it and tend to judge them because they don't follow the social norms of being a man or a woman. So that can be very hard for them because in society, I feel like they don't feel like they have a place, and they feel like they're alone in this world because there's not a common theme that they are similar to. You know, being a woman, I am sensitive like a typical woman. I am emotional like a typical woman. I love the beauty part of being a typical woman. I want to be a mother someday. And so I definitely do identify with being a woman 100%. But for women who don't have all those traits and they feel like they have a lot of male traits but they also have a lot of female traits, they could feel stuck and in the middle. And especially for transgendered people, they don't feel like they are one or the other, and that could be really tough in society because they don't have a place and they don't feel safe. And whereas I've never experienced that, and I don't know exactly how difficult it can be for them. So I feel like when you do find something that you truly identify with, it makes you feel so much safer and so much more content because you know that you aren't alone, and that even though there's so many things going on and so many different people, and even though they say it's good to be unique, it's still important for, I think, us as a human race to still be unique, but then also still have a group that we can relate to and we can share our problems with. And so I think that the connection between me being similar to a cat and my life and my identity is very important because we have a lot in common, and I know that I'm not alone when I feel very anxious and cowardly and independent. So I definitely love my cats, so I don't think it's an insult either to be related to them.